Okay, so we definitely got audio. We're definitely all good to go. So hello everyone, I'm Tim from Tim's PC, and I build custom PCs to suit anyone's needs or budget. I also live stream my builds and repairs for transparency and educational purposes. So if you'd like to get an awesome new PC and you'd like to see it put together live, send me a message today. Alrighty, so we've got a good one on tonight. We've got a 9800X3D RTX 4080 Super, but I believe the 4080 Super is just a placeholder until we can get a 5090 in there. So this is the first of my quote-unquote 5090 ready rigs. We've got another one coming up. It's going to be our actual first 5090 rig. So as soon as I get the card, we'll be building it that night. Okay, no fucking around, no Tim calling in sick at the last minute and not doing the live stream. I'm actually going to be doing it that night, so be sure to check that out. So the specs of the one we're going to be building that night is pretty much the same as this, only it's going in a D11 Evo. Got the same power supply, got the same motherboard, same CPU, same RAM. We got some more powerful SSDs going into it. Hydro Shift cooler. We got the new Lian Li fans with the LCD screens in the center of the fans there. So we're pulling out. Yeah, we're not mucking around with this next PC build. The first 5090 rig that you're gonna see here is gonna be freaking epic. All right. But that's not what we're here for tonight. Tonight we're here to build this rig. So I'm going to go through the specs and then we're going to get stuck right into it. So we have a Ryzen 7 9800X3D 8-core 16-thread CPU. We have the Asus ROG X870E Crosshair Hero motherboard. We'll have a look at that one when we unbox it. We have a 32GB kit of 6000 MHz CL16 memory. It's an Adata XPG Lancer RAM. Oh no, sorry, it's Storm, not Lancer. Sorry. How could I ever get those mixed up in my mind? We have a Crucial T500 2TB NVMe SSD. We have an RTX 4080 Super from PNY. I'm going to put that down to the side for now. Check out this power supply, right? We have a Thermaltake. Oh, it's upside down. I know. Definitely around the right way now. Yep, 100%. It's around the right way. 1250 watt ATX3 power supply here with a titanium efficiency. So titanium efficiency is the maximum efficiency level you can get for a power supply. This bad boy here sets you back 600 Aussie dollars. However, there is one cool thing about this motherboard, and that... power supply, not motherboard. Sorry, yeah, power supply, not motherboard. You can actually turn this bad boy on and off with an app on your phone. So you could start your PC up before you even walk in the door with this power supply. Now that is fucking cool. So I don't know, should I maybe try and like download the app and get this going on during the live stream? I don't know, I think I might upload a separate little video on it. That might be the best way to go, just because I don't want to muck around with an app and trying to get it synced up while we're live. It could be a pain in the ass to try to do that. You all know what I'm talking about. So moving on, we got the Lian Li Hydro Shift cooler here. So it's got the 3 black fans. We're going to be swapping them out for a nice pack of Lian Li SL120 fans. So they're going to go on the cooler. We have another SL140 going on the back there. So there's 3 140s there on the front. We're just leaving them as is. because you're not even going to get a good look at them, even if we replace them to SL fans, because the SLs you can't really see too much from the back, and these fans on the front here are going to primarily be seen from the back or from the front through this mesh and metal panel. So I honestly didn't think it was worth getting another 3 SL120 fans. I think this is going to look freaking sick. So yeah, I mean, let me know if you don't think it looks sick. I like to keep sharp, you know. And then finally, our case. So our case is the Deepcool CH650 digital. And why is it called digital? Because it has this little panel here on the side that tells you like the temperature and stuff of your CPU. It's not like a full-on freaking LCD screen. It's just a little digital panel that tells you some information, but it's got its own class to it, if you ask me. So we'll have a look at that. I haven't used this case before at Tim's PC. I've used the cooler that has the same sort of interface on the top of the CPU cooler, but I haven't used this particular case. So happy days. Alright, well, let's get stuck right into it. Let's have a look at this motherboard. Fucking hell, look at this bad boy, right? So that's the plastic cover that comes on the top here. Bloody hell. That is a heavy motherboard. Because look at that rear shroud. Right. Damn, that's got some weight to it. Oh. Damn, let's start doing freaking reps with that bad boy. Okay, so we don't really need to see too much of that. Or that. What else do we get in here? We get a nice little ROG card. I don't know, you can put that in your wallet and show it off to your gamer friends or something. What else we got here? Some nice ROG stickers. You know, it's not a ROG build without some ROG stickers. Oh, we got a nice little manual here. Oh, look at that, with a nice little simplified circuit diagram like thing. What else we got here? Oh, we've got ASUS web storage, so you can give ASUS all of your data if you want. That's cool. Alrighty, so what do we get here? Oh, 4 SATA cables in a pack. A plastic clip, another plastic clip, another plastic clip, another different, oh, it's a rubber clip. Oh, we got a little frickin' front panel connector header, so you can frickin' plug the cables into this and plug the thing into the header. I think we're going to go and bin that, because that is a useless piece of kit right there. Another bit of rubber. Got an M2 screw. Another M2 screw. Another bit of rubber. Another bit of rubber. Oh, a bottle opener. Look at that. So you can have a nice beer with your ASUS motherboard. I actually like that. Wi-Fi antenna. Oh, a RGB adapter cable. And what's this little box? What do we got here? Oh, a little ROG USB stick. How cool is that? I'll chuck that in for you. As for the rest of the stuff, probably not going to need it. so I'll just put it back in the box there. Actually, no, I want the box up here. Yeah. Hey Darren, how you going? Good to have you with us. You're off today? Oh, that's awesome. Gotta love days off. Okay, so I think we've moved over to board view, so I can start going through all the specs of this badass motherfucking board. So up the top there, we have two 8-pin CPU power connectors. These really nice heat sinks here on our MOSFET VRM coprocessors. There's even a heat pipe that runs through the top there.
Oh yeah, I see that.
So a very, very top tier heatsink there on our MOSFET VRM coprocessors. We have our AM5 socket in the middle there. We have a nice postcode indicator there just above the RAM sockets. That's that thing that looks like it says 88. We have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fan headers, so a full assortment of fan headers. You never find more than 8 fan headers on a board because it becomes too much power flowing through the system. So yeah, we got the postcode indicator there. We got dual channel memory across 4 slots. We have 1, 2, 3 RGB headers, all 5 volts. We have a nice power on and flex key. I'm not even sure what that's meant to be. I don't even know what that is either. Is that... Doesn't even have it listed on the board there what that actually is. I'd have to look that up. If you're interested in finding out exactly what these 3 buttons do, I mean obviously the start means start. It says retry button, and then it says flex key on the button, and then it just skips to chassis fan ATX power. It doesn't tell me what that button is. If I was to guess what the button is there, the little button, that would be a flash BIOS button. Anyway, let me know. Send me a message if you're keen to find out what they are. I'll go and look it up because I don't remember what they are in my head. We have an ATX power supply there for our motherboard. So we've got 24 pins there, and you might notice this little 8-pin connector there. That's an auxiliary PCIe connector. So the same kind of connector that we would normally plug into a graphics card, we actually plug in there to the motherboard to provide a bit of extra power for this super high powered setup. Below that we have a USB-C front panel header. We have 4 SATA ports there. We have a horizontally orientated USB 3 and a vertical. We also have a second USB-C header there. We have our chipset battery, front panel headers, 2 USB 2s there, clear CMOS button, a front panel audio there as well. In the center here, up the top here, we've got our PCIe 5 M2 slot, and then we should have another either 3 or 4. I'm not sure what's under this shroud here. It could be, we could have a total of 5 on this board even, because it is a high-end board. Once again, I'd have to double check that. I thought there was only 4, but you know, sometimes it's actually 5 on some of these high-end boards. Okay, and then around the back here, this is where you really start to realize you've got a super high-end board. So if we look at the rear I/O there, we can see 4 USB-C ports at the front there. Notice that there's 2 LAN ports there. One is actually a 5 gigabit LAN, and the other one is a 2.5 gigabit LAN. So in Australia, probably not going to make a big deal of difference considering we have peasant internet. but definitely in some other parts of the world that'd be nice. We have Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 5.3, I think it is, off the top of my head. We have a SPI-Diff out, and we have a line out microphone in. We have a clear CMOS and a flash BIOS button there at the back of the board. We have a single HDMI output there, and then we have another 6 USB ports there for a total of 10. So pretty solid motherboard, and like look at that back there. It's got a big metal plate on the back of it there. It's why it's so freaking heavy. Five M2 slots. Yeah, I thought it was 5. Anyway, that is our Crosshair Hero X870E motherboard. So
Ridiculously expensive.
$1,300 motherboard. I could never personally bring myself to spend $1,300 on a motherboard. Oh my god.
But if you got the money, why not spend it, I guess?
Exactly right. Because yeah, if you buy a PC from Tim's PC, you don't have to like cop whatever specs that I send you. You can get whatever specs you want. I don't have a set range of parts because I'm not really a PC part retailer. That's not sort of how I make money. I just charge for the labor, and I sell you the latest and greatest PC parts in line with what the major retailers spend. So happy days. Alright, well, so we don't have a PCIe 5 SSD, so I'm going to leave that top slot free. And we'll just open up this middle slot.
Glued down. Is there like a little latch? It's always fun working with a new board.
Oh, are you serious? There is this little latch thing here.
Don't break it.
Nah. Oh, I see. It looks like it's just that bit in the middle there, but it's actually the whole assembly over all of the M2 slots. So the whole thing comes off, not just that. See, it looks like it's just that bit at the top with those 2 screws. That's what I was trying at first. But it's actually this whole plate. All 4 PCIe 4 M2 SSD slots. Alright, so we'll go and chuck in our T500 here from Crucial. So T500 from Crucial is like a 990 Pro from Samsung, if you were wondering where that sort of fit in compared to maybe a brand that you're a bit more familiar with. And so Crucial is basically Samsung's main opposition over in frickin' America. Oh no. Hey man, how you going? Good to have you with us as always. There it goes. Okay, so that's all sorted. CPU time. Haha. Familiar scene, isn't it? Alright. So it looks like supplies of these things are slowly starting to drip through into Australia, which is good, just in time for frickin' 50 series to drop.
Tim?
Yeah.
I don't even know what game uses. I like the Samsung for SSD. He says personal preference, I guess. Just don't go too cheap.
No, but the thing is though, dude, Samsung SSDs aren't that, like, if you look at the price difference between a Samsung branded SSD and other brands, it's not actually that much more performance. So I generally go Crucial because they actually have the world title as the fastest SSD maker. Their T700 and T705 SSDs are the fastest PCIe 5 SSDs in the world. And the reason why Samsung's more expensive as a brand is because they have global brand recognition. You don't know who Crucial is, you don't know who Kingston is, you don't know who Silicon Power are, you don't know what these products are, but you know Samsung because of phones, because of TVs, because of fridges. You know Samsung and you know they make good stuff. So when you're looking at SSDs and you see the Samsung brand and it's freaking 30% more expensive than the other brands, you're going to go, I think I'll go the Samsung. And that's what we call the Samsung tax, right? They are rorting you based on your perception of their brand. So don't ever let these companies, these big companies, big corporations, don't ever let them tell you what you should buy, because they don't have your best interests at heart. So in terms of the quality and the performance and stuff, if customers don't have a preference, we go with Crucial. If customers want something more generally a bit cheaper, we'll go with Silicon Power. But we only ever do Samsung unless we're specifically requested to do Samsung, because it's more expensive. And, you know, as a business, I'm competing with other businesses. And, you know, coming in with the cheapest quote is a key part of that business model at times. So, you know, when I can get the customer more performance, or at least the same performance with a Crucial or a Silicon Power SSD, I'm always going to do that. I don't work for Samsung. I don't work for any of these freaking companies that I sell, you know, parts from. Yeah.
Chris says, damn, I don't know which part I'm most jealous of.
Oh man, everything here puts my PC to shame.
Daniel says, can't wait to get this thing.
Yes, yes. So we got the customer right here, which is good. Yeah, man, this is an absolute freaking weapon.
Damon says, hi to you soon.
Hey Damon, how you going? Good to have you with us as always, man.
Chris says, they're only marking them on $100 right now. I guess that's a big deal. He says,
Yeah.
make sure your memory has DRAM.
Make sure my memory has what?
DRAM.
DRAM. That's what it all is.
Does anyone else remember when 32 gigabytes of RAM was overkill? It feels like old 16.
Yeah, but I mean, even in this day and age, 32 gigabyte holds up really well in terms of its performance and stuff. So I'm still at the stage where I don't recommend 64 gigabytes to people unless they have unless they're doing video editing or audio production or something where people typically utilize that much system memory. Oh, 64 is overkill. Honestly, man, it still is. 64 is overkill if you're a gamer. Even if you're doing video editing and stuff like that, 4K and shit like that, 64 is still generally okay. There are some other factors involved there as well, but generally speaking, 64 is more than enough for video editing and audio production as well. So you gotta remember that people are always just trying to sell you stuff, man. And I know I'm a business and you might say, oh, I'm just trying to sell you stuff as well, but I tell you advice that might be counterintuitive to what you're hearing on, you know, bigger pages and stuff like that. Because, you know, those big pages, you can't always completely trust what they're telling you because they're so big. They've got millions of subscribers and they've got, you know, economic incentives to say certain things because, you know, they're getting sponsored by all these brands and shit. Whereas someone like me, I don't have 5 million subscribers on Facebook. I don't make freaking $30,000 every time I upload a video like some other YouTubers get. I am freaking basic as fuck compared to them, and because of that, I don't get any money from any other retailers, or sorry, any other vendors, I should say. So I just tell you what I think. And you get the full, unadulterated opinion of me. I have no interest in ever doing collaborations or like freaking paid for ads and stuff like that. I have absolutely no interest in doing any of that. So if I give you advice, it's not because I'm getting paid by someone to tell you that. I'm just, if I give you that advice, I'm telling you that legitimately. Yes, 100%. Yeah, you definitely need 32, man. 100%. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that beyond 32 gigabyte for the majority of games that people play is still unnecessary in 2025. There we go. I'm looking at this, I'm like, how the fuck does this come out? I can't see any screws, but it just pushes out. That's alright, man. Happy to help. Hey Mad Warrior, how you going? Good to have you with us as always. Oh, I want egg fried rice, man. Egg fried rice, hell yeah. Sorry, I'm having a freaking seniors moment here with this freaking thing. That's definitely an AM5 bracket, isn't it? It's gonna. What the fuck?
Have they given you the updates?
No, shouldn't be. I just looked, I'm like, I always double check my coolers to make sure that they're compatible. So that's the LGA 1700. As is that. And that's a shroud for it. Have I missed something in the box? No? What the fuck am I missing? I am super confused here. Like, that's another one of these brackets here for if you want to reverse it. I feel like I'm completely missing a part here. Alright, so you can see what I'm working with. We've got this piece here, which is an LGA 1700 socket. It's got a shroud there, and it's got a back plate there. So that's pretty straightforward, right? Then we have these two pieces here, which don't fit either way on an AM5 socket. So I don't know what they're even meant to be. Unless, oh, here we go. I think I've worked it out. So these things here go upside down over the back plate there. Like that. And then you actually use the standard use the actual Intel mounting bracket on this. It's just got an adapter for the AM4 socket. So I'm glad I worked that out, because that would have been embarrassing to have me looking through the freaking instructions. But we actually use the bolts that attach our standard AMD mounting brackets to the board, and we use that on these brackets, and then we actually use the Intel bracket on top of that. So a little bit different there with how this works for AM4, sorry, AM5 I should say. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. So those brackets go on basically upside down from what you'd expect. And then it's still the standard frickin' bracket. Okay, so that's it there. We've removed the bit of cardboard, sorry, the bit of plastic I should say. I was looking at cardboard. And then we apply our thermal compound here. What's that?
What thermal compound are you using?
Just some MSI stuff here. Brand of thermal compound makes very little difference. You can spend extra on thermal compound, but it typically makes about 1 degree difference in temperature. And once again, be careful of people trying to sell you things that you don't really need. Because if it made a big difference and it was a big deal, then obviously I'd be recommending it to people, but I don't. I just recommend people use the standard thermal paste. Unless you're some overclocker who's trying to, you know, crack the gigahertz limit on their CPU or something like that. They need every last degree of cooling capacity. Then sure, go spend like $50 extra on some thermal paste and stuff like that. For everyone else, it's like, probably not worth it, you know? What's that, sorry? With the thermal paste? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Thermal Grizzly makes some good thermal paste. They do get a degree or two cooler than other brands. But in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really make any difference, right? Yeah, that's fine, man. I recommend to people that you don't muck around with thermal paste until you notice that there's some sort of problem, like a legitimate problem. Because if you're just a hypochondriac for PC temperatures, then you're going to go and change your thermal paste and you're going to find that it makes like absolute sweet fuck all difference. And you're going to be like, oh no, I'm still nervous that my graphics card is 70 degrees. And it's like, your graphics card can get up to 83 degrees. The memory and hotspot can get up to 100 degrees. Do not freak out about temperatures that might feel hot to you. Freak out about temperatures that exceed the operating specifications for your hardware. That's what you should be freaking out about. Can we just get rid of this shroud cover? I don't really like it. Okay, so we're going to have to swap these straight black fans for our SL120s. Don't forget about the food.
Yeah, I know. I have to do it too.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I always mount radiators to the top, man. Yeah. You can't really go wrong mounting them to the top, right?
I'm going to throttle mine to 80. Let's see, I can't wait to have my 9800X 3D system. Is GT1070 any good?
GT1070, it's about 10 years old at this stage, right?
So I'm getting my desktops, my pa's desktop since he passed away two years ago, and I don't know how good GTX 1070 is.
Yeah, well, like I said, man, it's relatively old, but it depends what sort of games that you play and stuff, you know.
Says my PC 60 degrees during the day and under 50 for the other, but I've noticed slightly higher temps in summer, which I guess is the ambient temperature. Yeah, pretty much. And Chris says I think the 30 series is where they
Sorry, what was the specs of that again, babe? Sorry, alright? Fucking hell.
Ryzen 7 9800X 3D with a ROG Strix 4080 Super OC. I'm not sure the specs.
Well, I mean, you can get whatever you want, man. Like, you've got really high-end specs, so I would suggest get what motherboard suits you and based on your needs. I'd recommend getting an ATX 3 compliant power supply as well, because you don't want to use the skanky power adapter there for your 4080. But yeah, as for everything else, man, it all depends what you want. So you definitely don't have to spend $1,300 on a motherboard. It's not like the $1,300 motherboard's going to get you $1,300 more performance or something like that. So don't freak out about that. If you're looking at price performance, I've built 4080 rigs with more high-end B650 boards, and they're fine. It's no problems at all. Did one just the other night with a MSI Mag B650 Tomahawk Wi-Fi, which is one of the more high-end B650 boards. And I mean, even that's fine. Basically, the motherboard, in terms of its hierarchy of importance, in terms of spending money on your gaming PC, it's sort of right down there with like the SSD and the case and the fans and stuff like that. You know, your power supply, your RAM, your CPU, and your graphics card are much more important things to get right with your PC. You know, if you have to cut back on the motherboard, cut back on the motherboard. Don't ever spend less on your CPU or graphics card or RAM just to get the top end motherboard. It like never makes sense if you're on a budget. Yeah. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Because yeah, I'm just small time, you know, and I don't know if I'd want to be super big on YouTube. I don't want to get to the point where I have to start taking people's money and shit like that, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Yes.
Not safe for work warning or an R18 warning showing up.
Yes. No, I don't even think we need these shrouds because it's going to get mounted to the top like this.
I'm just lazy. I'll spend an extra $50 so I don't have to worry about doing the BIOS update before I build it.
Yeah. Nah, honestly, I won't even bother. It's just gonna get in. It's just gonna get in the way, and it's gonna mean that the cables are forced down one side, like sort of like that. I'd rather just leave the cables like that, not under any tension or pressure. We do need a little accessory bag for our Lian Li fans. Okay. So now let's turn our attention to the case. Okay, like I said, we've got three 140s up front. We're going to be swapping out this one at the back for a 140. It's just a 120 there. But we got a 140 SL fan here for the back, which will match the ones on the radiator. Alrighty, so there's our SL120 there. There we go. Okay, there we go. One SL 140 there at the back. Okay, so you can see that on-screen display down there. A little bit of sticky. Yeah.
Women. I bet he's thinking about other women. Him, I can't wait till I get my 59.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know the exact meme, right? We all do. Oh, look at this.
That's kind of cool, right? You need to keep up with this.
I think so. I think so. Apparently. Look at this bad boy.
Chris says, I remember back in my day, GPUs roamed in the land and birds, their cousins as far as I can see.
Alrighty, so this is what a $600 power supply looks like. Oh, I dropped it. Holy shit, what do we get in here? Fucking hell. Is that braided cables? Did we seriously just get braided cables? No way.
I would have thought they were big sleeves.
Standard braided cables. Like, nah, this is something special. You don't normally get braided cables.
Oh.
You normally just get the plastic ones. Braided, you normally pay extra for braided cables. They're the cable extenders that you use. But we've got Lian Li strimers for this anyway, so we're not even gonna, we won't even be seeing most of these. Maybe for the CPU.
Chris says I'd be happy with just the wires for the kit.
Yeah, I know, right? one CPU. And two CPU. Yeah.
My opinion, the 1080 is still a decent card and video. I've never made a card like that. To be honest, it's probably like at its time. This is kit wires are fine. I'm happy as long as it blows.
Yeah.
If you look a lot more of the expensive ones with the best cables, definitely worth paying the extra for.
Yep.
So it's makes well-priced power supplies.
Who did he say was world-class power supplies?
ASUS makes some really good, well-priced power supplies.
Oh, well-priced. Yeah.
I mean, I bet it's each their own. I just don't care for RGB wires. All the lightnings are just like plain black ones.
Yeah, I mean that's completely fine, man. It's all
Unless
personal.
it's a theme.
It's all personal preference.
Suits your use.
But the thing is, when you're buying a power supply like what we're doing right here, the RGB is neither here nor there, if you know what I mean. This is a $600 power supply. If it didn't have RGB, they'd be ripping you off. That's kind of how it is, right? And if you don't like the RGB, you just turn it off. People have it in their head that, you know, oh, RGB, oh, that's going to make your PC cost like 20% more. And that's just not the case these days. You know what I mean? Okay, so everything's in place. We can go ahead and chuck our board and our cooler in now. Let me just get our CPU cables in the right spot. Yes.
What is going on here? Really? What the fuck? Okay, I'm gonna have to remove this freaking fan. Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna have to get a 120mm fan to go on the back there, unfortunately. It won't let me mount a 140 on the back, even though it has room for a 140 on the back, if we mount a 360mm radiator up top. These are little frustrating aspects of building PCs. It says it's compatible. Go and have a look. Go look up the case. It's the Deepcool CH650 digital case. And it says you can mount a 140 at the back. And it says you can mount a 360 up top. But it doesn't say anything about you can't have both at the same time. Well, that's okay. We'll chuck in a 120. I don't have one on me, but I'll chuck in a 120 instead. Okay, so we can just make do without the fan on the back there. It looks a little bit freaking naked, but that's okay. Yeah.
This is honestly, I wouldn't want more than 3 fluxes so I can have constant pressure making sure I only suck air through where there's the filter.
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with the airflow configuration without that rear fan there. It's mainly just for aesthetics. Yeah. Oh, dude, there's a million different rationales on pressure and stuff. For me, I'm not really too concerned about whether it's positive or negative or neutral and stuff like that. I just care that the airflow dynamics are right. You know, if there's frickin' there's too much dust, just frickin' clean your PC. Stop over analyzing everything, if you know what I mean. Just remember, we got strimers for this. Hurry up. Hurry up. I don't know. I don't know.
We're going for an hour and 25.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, yep. No one's arguing with you on that. Damn, I think we're gonna need a I think we're gonna have to need a USB 2 hub for this, with the amount of freaking USB 2 devices. Okay, got our Lian Li controller here, which is also USB 2 based. Yeah.
Okay, this was are you doing some POV on default for 9800 X3D? Can you recommend some hardware for stability and how long safety POV?
Oh mate, look, I'm not gonna give anyone overclocking advice like live on YouTube, because there's a concept called binning when it comes to CPUs and stuff like that. And as a result, I can't recommend you any guaranteed safe settings for any particular combination of CPU and motherboard. Not every CPU that gets produced is identical. There's slight variations between it. It's an imperfect process, and so you're gonna have to go and play around with that yourself. Go and have a look on YouTube for someone who's like an overclocker specifically, who spends hours playing around with that. I don't spend hours playing around with overclocking, so yeah, I'm not going to give anyone any advice on it, basically.
So they make software, not hardware.
Sorry, what was that? I meant software, not hardware. Yeah, but the software depends on the hardware, though. That's what I'm saying. You know, like you can't. not every single CPU that you want to play around with is going to behave the same. I can't be like, yep, so run at this many gigahertz and freaking all that, and it's like a set in stone formula for overclocking your CPU. You have to go and play around with it yourself, because just because someone else on YouTube got it running at this, that doesn't mean that's going to be possible on yours. So hopefully that kind of makes sense there. Freaking idiot. I used the wrong Lian Li cable on the fan. I used the cable that links two fans together and not the cable that links to the controller. Well, it's basically identical and both will plug into the fans, but the other end, one has a couple of extra pins on top of the other. So I'll have to go and swap that. Oh, I know, right?
Two 9800 X3D so far. The first one could not do -30
Yep.
PDO, while the second one does that stable.
Yep. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm really skeptical on providing people, advice on that, because if you're asking me for advice, then you're probably an amateur when it comes to overclocking. And as a result, yeah, it's gonna be a bit freaking dicey. Oh no.
What?
Those two different cables plug in on either end, so I actually have to swap the orientation of these fans, because the pipes on this cooler are in the way and they are gonna have to be orientated that way. It's always fun. actually had to remove 2 bits of plastic from the end of the fans to get them to even mount this way correctly. It's one of the most time costing things ever is when you fuck this up. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, like I say to people, the 6000 megahertz CL30 is pretty much your sweet spot between price, performance, and latency. Sort of purpose to it. It's a bit like DDR4 when you had 3600 megahertz CL16. That was like the sweet spot between price, performance, and latency, and speed and everything. So don't sort of start that say, oh, you can run this at frickin' 8000 megahertz or something like that, and then sit there going, oh shit, you know, oh that's probably way better than what I've got. You know, maybe if I just upgrade my PC, it'll be way better with that 8000 megahertz RAM. When in actual fact, it's just not. It's just not like that, unfortunately. All right, so we'll try and hook this up without all those USB 2 ports. But like I said, I'm a little bit bloody skeptical on it, because Lian Li, while they make fans look great, their software for RGB is not the greatest, and I've generally got to spend a little bit of extra time on each one, kind of fine-tuning everything. So when we turn this one on, I'm definitely not going to have the back panel. So I'll probably have to get back into it at some stage. I think we're definitely going to need a freaking USB 2 hub, because we just don't have enough ports. We're going to have 1, 2, 3. Yeah. 3 plus our strimers. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to hook the streamers into the same Lian Li controller. I think I need a totally separate Lian Li controller for the streamers. How good is that, right? Oh, and we need an extra SATA cable as well. Okay. Oh, god damn it. Extra freaking SATA power needed, so I need to install a totally new SATA power cable. And I can't reach the freaking plug on the power supply without freaking pulling the power supply out. Pull everything out. Fuck me dead. Okay. Bloody hell, are we ever going to get here tonight? Okay. Okay, so let's keep moving. So unfortunately, because I don't have a second USB 2 controller, we may have some problems with our lighting and stuff like that with this build. I'm just gonna let you know that now. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll hook it up and then I'll start plugging what we see and we'll see what we need to do to get this bad boy all running properly. So I mean, I've got USB 2, but they're not exactly the most stable bits of kit to work with. And so I can provide the splitter, send a PC to the customer that's got, you know, problems. I'm a one-man band here and I don't have time to spend frickin' troubleshooting with customers after the fact. I've got to make sure everything's frickin' right before I send it off. Yep, 100%, man. Yep. Yeah, man. There's not really too much competition at the moment. Retailers have jacked the price up to, it was $870 when it was released. It's now $920. So it's gone up pretty considerably. Getting what? Oh yeah, 100%, man, 100%. It makes it so much easier than frickin' busting your shoulder trying to frickin' move them around and stuff.
The more I look at it, the more I like that case.
It's a frickin' nice case. Okay, so I'm just hooking this up very, very basically here at the back because I anticipate troubleshooting problems with this just based on the number of USB 2 devices. The problem with too many USB 2 devices is even with a split, even with like a USB hub, Windows can kind of get confused when there's too many freaking USB things all plugged in at the same time, if that makes sense. Yep.
Mine says, I took up my first non-pre-built to R5 7600X and RX 7800 XT.
Yep. Fuck no. Okay, so look, we'll leave all this stuff out the back there. I'm not gonna go and tuck it all away and tidy up the cables when I'm probably gonna have to freaking change. Okay, alright. So let's do round one. This power supply has a different cable to it than a standard one. It uses this style cable.
And what's that?
Cable.
Okay.
So bigger gauge, more power can run through it basically. Alright, well our fans are spinning. Alright, let's give this a go. Well, we're on a post error here. Let's have a look. Okay, so we're still stuck on a postcode there. Alright, saying memory. So let's try again with a single stick. No, okay, we're still on the same postcode. Imagine if after all this we have a bad motherboard.
Oh, I'd be too happy. That was mine.
Fuck no. It wasn't even plugged in all the way. No, we're just stuck on a memory issue.
Do you have different RAM?
I do, but usually, as you'd know from doing this with me for a while, it's very rare for both sticks of RAM to both be dead. Like it's buy a lotto ticket kind of odds. This isn't good. Yeah, there's no other way to put that fan in. I'll have to get a 120. Ah, okay. Okay. Right, I'm pretty sure I've tried both DIMMs, but let's try a completely different kit. I hope it's nothing with this. I hope it's not the CPU, because memory issues can also be the CPU. Like if your motherboard's telling you that there's something wrong with the memory, it could very well be the CPU as well. And as you start testing out different things, oh,
Tim?
yeah.
CSR was saying, how much does a computer cost in your country and how long would it take for an average worker to buy? Just with curiosity.
Oh, we're posting. We're posting with a different kit of RAM. Sorry, I'm a million miles away right now. What was that?
CSR was saying, how much does a computer cost in your country and how long would it take for an average worker to buy? Just curiosity.
Well, geez, the average price of a PC in my country. Well, for a gaming PC, PCs that I sell, you're basically looking at anywhere from 1,500 to 3,500. That's the mid range. Anything over that is budget. That gives you a bit of an idea about how the market is. Okay. That's so weird. Both DIMMs are showing up as an error. That is so weird. I feel like what are we going to do here? Because I mean, my other spare DDR5 RAM is just a single 8GB DIMM. No XMP. Right, try a different slot here. It's just so weird to see two sticks of RAM from the same kit behave the same. Because typically when there's an error with your RAM, it's one stick, it's not both of them. Not the same freaking error. Alright. Well, what do you reckon? Do you reckon we just do a follow-up on this? I think so. So there's a few things that could be going on here. So it's a X870E motherboard. Okay, so in terms of compatibility with our CPU, I don't think there's anything wrong there. It posted with a different stick of RAM. This is a very basic DDR5 stick of RAM. I have it due to compatibility for situations like this. So what might be going on is we can pretty much rule out that the 9800X3D is compatible with the motherboard. We've seen it post, so that's fine. X870 means that it's designed for Ryzen 9000 chips out of the box. Even the first BIOS update should be fine. The issue with memory compatibility issues, and that's probably what we're seeing right now. So what we'll do is we'll do a follow-up on this PC, and starting with a BIOS update on this stick of RAM, and then we're gonna go back after the BIOS update is done and see if we can get this kit of RAM to work, because based on my experience, I am very, very skeptical that both of these sticks of RAM are actually faulty. I feel like the problem is some sort of compatibility issue with our system. So that'll be something to look at. I might pick up a USB 2 controller if I can find one at a reasonable price. But yeah, that's pretty much where we're going to be right now. And unfortunately, because it's starting to get late now, I can't spend all night on this. I've been live for about 2 hours, so I'm not going to be able to get the rest of it done. So yeah, that's where we're going to be at. So, like I said, I think it'll be BIOS, and then this other kit of RAM will work. If that's not the case and we update the BIOS and we still can't get this other kit of RAM to work, then we're going to test that kit of RAM on another motherboard to confirm that it's definitely dead. But my prediction is, if that happens and we test it on another motherboard, that kit of RAM will be completely fine. Now, if that's the case and we can't get that RAM to work with this motherboard, even with a BIOS update, then in that situation, we'll be getting a different kit of RAM with the same specs and plugging that in instead. So, as you can see, it's a bit... Once we get to this stage and we've got this level of problems, it's quite a bit of work to go forward. So, like I said, I'll do a follow-up of this. We'll do a live PC repair build live stream for this, and yeah, we'll go through everything and we'll work out what's wrong. Fan there for the back, since we can't mount the one